What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right, so before I get into this video, shout out to the brother Raymond for the $5 donation via the Cash App. He says, much appreciation for the content and wisdom. Well, I'm not the wisest guy on here, but I try to give advice on things that I think I have some knowledge on. I'm still trying to learn every day like everybody else. But I definitely appreciate you showing love, and I definitely appreciate you taking the time to listen to my channel. And for all you guys that try to listen, that take time to listen to my channel. So Saquon Barkley, Super Bowl champion, I believe Super Bowl MVP, right? Anyway, recently, he, I believe, flew to the White House. I guess he was invited. It might have been the team that was invited, the Eagles. I know some people turned down the invite. I think Jalen Hurts is one of them. But Saquon Barkley flew to the White House, I believe, and played golf with President Trump. So a lot of people criticized Saquon Barkley for playing golf with the president, calling him a CON and buck dancer and all that type stuff. And Saquon Barkley went back at his critics saying, LOL, some people are really upset because I played golf and flew to the White House with the president. Maybe I just respect the office, not a hard concept to understand. Just golf with Obama not too long ago and look forward to finishing my round with Trump. Now you get out of my mentions with all this politics and have an amazing day with this emoji, a smiling emoji. Now look, how can I put this? I don't know that much about Saquon Barkley, right? I don't know too much about his personal views on certain things, politics, social issues. Though I do remember him commending Colin Kaepernick back in the day for his efforts and his stance and what he, the things he tried to speak out against, and speak up for. But he doesn't seem, to me at least, to be a very political person. I've only really heard the thing about Colin Kaepernick. Other than that, he just seems to be a football player, okay? Now, everybody's not going to have the same opinion as I do on this situation, but I think that at the very least, people should hear me out because I think I've done enough to show you how I feel on these types of issues, right? I can respect him saying, look, I respect the office. I may not particularly care for the person that's in the White House, and I know certain people don't care about him, but I respect the institution of the presidency. I kind of want to compare it to something here. Look, there could be a guy who's married, right? And he may not respect his marriage. He may go outside and stray and sleep with different women, what have you, right? And to yourself, you're looking at this guy, you're like, he's a piece of shit, right? He's just a piece of absolute shit, what he does to his wife. However, let's say you personally feel like that gives you an opening to step to his wife, right? If you did that, you're just as bad as he is, because most people would still respect the boundaries of marriage, right? You still, even though he's not respectful, you still respect the boundaries of marriage. I know it's not the greatest comparison, but I understand what Saquon Barkley's talking about, right? I think what the real issue is people really care more about Democrat Republicans. That's what that is, because most of his critics, talking about Saquon Barkley, are fellow black people. And it really is about Republican and Democrat, because people say, well, Donald Trump, he's been doing racist stuff since the 70s, right? He was doing racist stuff back in the 70s with, not letting in minorities as properties, as far as apartments. The Central Park Five and his stance and his strong stance against them, and other instances where he's allegedly displayed racism, or individuals who work under him were culpable in displaying racism toward black people. And today I'll say, you talking about when he was a Democrat? Because when I was growing up, Donald Trump was beloved in the black community despite those instances of racism. Why? Because he was seen as a Democrat. Just like I never really heard the media go in on Robert Byrd, who was a former Klansman, because he had a D behind his name. So a lot of it does have to do with the team he's on. But I'm talking about Trump. And I don't like Trump. I've said it before. I don't particularly care for him at all. I think he's an imbecile. Right? But I'm gonna tell you another thing. I'm more pissed off at Barack Obama than I am at Trump, because Barack Obama was supposed to be this savior. He's supposed to be this beloved figure. But what the hell has he done for African Americans other than make us feel good that he was in the White House? He did nothing, and said he wasn't really going to do anything. I don't get how we vote 90% for one party, but demand nothing from them. This is what you call ass backwards. We vote 80 to 90% for one party. We demand nothing from them, but yet we demand everything from a party in which we only vote 5 to 10% from. To me, that's I'm be honest with you. I'm just going to tell you what this is something I probably wouldn't even have said 10 years ago. To me, that displays a victimhood mentality. I'm sorry, it is what it is. And I'm not a Republican, but I got to say what it is. That displays a person or some people who want to be put in a situation where they don't want solutions. They just want somebody to demonize. It is what it is, man. I'm sorry. I got to say it what it is. And another part of it is pissing me off when it comes to Saquon Barkley and this stuff, right? What is up with us always trying to bully people into how they're supposed to move? We're bullying people into who they're supposed to vote for, who they're supposed to hang around, who they're supposed to sleep with, the age barrier in which they sleep with somebody, who they're supposed to talk to, who they're not supposed to talk to, how they're supposed to dress, how they're supposed to eat, how they're supposed to talk. I mean, where does this sit, man? But we only got smoke for each other. That's it. Only for each other and nobody else. So at the end of the day, could you say that Saquon Barkley is cooning? Or I didn't really want to say that word, but buck dancing with Trump, this situation? I mean, if he's a person that's more political in his communications than what I'm picking up on, yeah, you can make an argument he is cooning. And I said the word again, didn't I? I'm sorry, I'm too raw for TV. I can't hard for me to sugarcoat sometimes, man, and say these other terms. You could say that he's doing that, right? But if he's a person that's not very political, it's hard for me to say just from this that that's what he's doing. Especially when he brought up the example that he golfed with Barack Obama. It would make more sense if he was ducking, hanging around Barack Obama. It just seems like he's probably very genuine when he says, I just respect the office of the presidency. I leave it at that. Now, if he does other things in the future, which adds more credence to this perception that he is towing this line of, for the other group or the other side, okay, then fine. But that's just how I look at it. You know what I'm saying? Some people might disagree with that. But I do think that we're starting to have this situation where we're mimicking Democrats and we're cannibalizing our own. When I say cannibalizing our own, we're looking for any excuse to crap on people that look like us. You can even say it's the extension of the crabs in the barrel mentality, because all we're doing is looking for things to demonize other people who look like us. That's all we do. Look for other reasons to demonize, all these different specific reasons to demonize others, but we have no smoke for anybody else. That's textbook crabs in the barrel mentality. It is what it is. I'm not going here and just say something to make people feel good. Nah. And then the last but not least, what really aggravates me is how we take so much pleasure in destroying successful Black people, just trying to destroy those of us who have been successful. I'm not talking about all of us. I'm talking about there's a specific, strong minority, loud minority, I should say, of us who enjoy cutting down and destroying or trying to destroy those who have made something of themselves in our community. I'm sorry. It is what it is. That's just how I look at it. But anyway, that's all I got to say about it. Tell me what you guys think.